we start off with the mace again, we're just gonna work on the pattern of the arm. Slide that over. This is very distracting. There we go. So, for your mill, we're going to do an outside mill first, all right? So what I want you to do is pretend you have your mace. All right, so this should all be your left hand, right? Thumbs up if that's your left hand. Perfect, all right, good. So we always want to start on our non-dominant side. So if you're a lefty, feel comfortable to go to your other side, all right? Start with your non-dominant, because if you do your non-dominant side first, and you pick up that pattern, your brain will have an easier connection to the movement on your right. So you'll learn it on your right quicker. All right, just a little mental tip for you guys. So whenever you learn something new, try it on your left side first, or your non-dominant side. So to start off, we're gonna take our mace, and we're gonna punch it out to our side. All right? Now, from here, we're gonna go to what's called a saber grip with your hand. And all that means is that you're going to point your wrist forward or down. Now imagine having the ball of the mace over there. The weight is going to want to cut across your body. You want to keep that wrist in that saber position all the way till you get to about parallel to the floor. From here, all I'm doing is I'm flexing my wrist, showing off my bicep, and I'm tucking it behind my head. And my hand position goes to where it would be for a 360. All right, now from here, I'm just gonna pull that elbow into front of my nose and slice it across. So if you wanna number the movements, you think about scoop, tuck, turn, slice. And trust me, it helps you a lot if you say it while you're doing it. So here's your tuck behind the head, your turn, your slice across. You scoop it up, tuck, turn, slice. Scoop, tuck, turn, slice. Scoop, tuck, turn, slice. Scoop, tuck, turn, slice. Now, before we grab our mace, I'm gonna go over a few different pointers. The turn is an actual turn with my body, all right? I'm not just bringing my elbow here and praying to God that I have the strength to do it, all right? You're using a mace, it's gonna want to use momentum, so you're creating momentum with your body. So if I grab my mace here, I have my scoop, tuck. I'm going to help the mace come around by turning with it. So even turning towards it, all right? So this is a very traditional style, usually made with like heavier club bells and even maces, is to really use the rotation of your body going back and forth. And it's gonna help you to get a nice smooth transition with your mill. This alone is actually a really, really great exercise for elbow, wrist, and shoulder health, as well as strength and biomechanics. If you guys follow Weightlifting Doc on Instagram, you'll see them do crazy stuff like this with heavy belts for like 10 minutes straight, hundreds of reps and stuff. And it's just like scientifically, like there's scientific backing in it to actually benefit the posture of your shoulder, elbow, and wrist. All right. So alone doing mills by yourself, they look super cool when you can add them into a flow, because you can start doing like cool stuff with them. But doing them alone is a really great exercise. So let's go ahead and grab your mace. I'll grab my 10-pounder, so if you guys aren't suffering as much as you guys are. And we're gonna break it down one arm at a time. So, if I can get a little better lighting for you guys. It kind of shaded on me there. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to grab right at the top of the knurling. All right, and of course, as we get better and more progressive, we can grab a little lower down. But with a mill, you're pretty much grabbing kind of in between or at the balance point anyway. So to start off, we're gonna go into a nice wide warrior stance here. And I want you to shift the weight over to your shoulder. All right, my elbow's tucked back. I have a nice strong grip. From here, all you're gonna do is I want you to tap your bottom hand in while you push your top hand out. So you're going this way. All right? Now, we're going to let momentum take it. All right? You get that full rotation. Ceiling. So you can go nice and slow at first. As you see when I curl up here, I'm actually curling it across my whole forearm. It's going to help support the mace as I bring it into my tucked position, which is just like my 360. When I get to this position, I'm going to use my core, my obliques, to bring my elbow in front of my nose, and I'm literally dragging it right over my shoulder. Tuck the elbow into the rib cage, and all you do is you push that wrist forward again. I have to go a little bit wider because my ceiling is a little bit lower than I thought it was. So you get to that tucked position behind my head, nice bullhorn position, rotate, pull the elbow down in front of the rib cage. All right, just like we do your 360s, if you pull your elbow in front of your nose, it's going to tell the mace where to go, and you get that nice scoop. Yeah, those look really good, you guys. Yeah. Now, what to do with the other hand? I like to keep it in a guarded position. All right, I've learned this recently from my good friend, the alchemist, Jamie Pinto, to keep a nice guarded position. This way, if anything goes wrong, I have this hand nearby to protect myself. Or you can just kind of keep it down at your rib cage and out of the way to keep your body nice and tight. All right, so it's going to be a personal preference what you want to do with your other arm. You can even use it as kind of like a running position to help rotate your core. Rev, I'm going to give you one tip. You're cutting your tuck short a little bit. Right now, we're going kind of here, and we're just kind of playing around with the shoulder, which is okay. It's still a mill, but it's more kind of, I believe, don't quote me on that, I believe it's more Jory style with the position here. With the mace, and again, this is going to be personal preference of the teacher and stuff, try getting that tuck position so the mace is down your spine. It's going to help with overall shoulder mobility, as well as really working through the scapula joint a little bit more, and even just the rotation to come across. And of course, when we get a little bit more advanced too, you'll start doing switches in the middle of it. So having that extra little rotation or extra little mobility is going to be a lot better for later on. All right, if we keep practicing it here, it's going to be great for the elbows and wrists and the forearms, but we're missing the benefits of the shoulder, of really getting that shoulder opened up. So really try reaching behind the head each time. Good, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes on this side, and then we're going to switch it up. This is the inside middle. All right. Now, with this one, we're going to start off same hand position. All right. This is your outward heart swing if you're a club user. From here, just like you would with the 360, we're going to take our knuckles and we're going to punch up to the ceiling. All right. So my forearm is in line with my shoulder and my elbow. Nice and easy. Now from here, that same elbow position that I was in on my other mill, I'm going to go to my bullhorns in the back. So that's how I place the mace behind me. All right. All it is here. You let the mace drop behind your shoulder, and you come to your bullhorn. Now, instead of trying to tuck it into it, all I got to do from here is I'm pulling my elbow down to my rib cage. So the movement to come out of this one is literally just here. Yeah, this is a great exercise by itself, especially with the club. Really good practice for shoulders. From here, all it is pushing that wrist out again, coming down. Now, the biggest thing that I see happen, that's exactly right. That's the biggest thing I see happen is people let the pommel come in front, which doesn't work. It gets stuck. All right. So when you push it out, you have to make sure that you're rotating the thumb down to the floor because you're going to cut across again. All right. So thumb up. I press out. I bring my thumb down to my midline. Because that's going to set my elbow up here to go back into that curl. It wraps around, and I pull through my elbow. Now, you'll notice with this one that the pommel crosses right in front of your face as you're rotating through. I will be honest with you, with the 5-pound mace, you can get really, really fast with this motion. And the faster you go, the more dangerous it is. So, take it nice and easy, nice and controlled to start off with. I've hit my head plenty of times doing this one. It's just, you know, it's part of the practice. You know, it's the sacrifice we make to have cool looking mills. But, you know, walk it off. It's going to hurt a lot more with the 10-pounder than it is with the 5-pounder, I guarantee you. But, you know, we're all here to learn. So let's go nice and slow through this one. I'm just going to use the 5-pound for demonstration real quick, and I'll switch up. Let's punch up to the ceiling. Let the globe drop. There we go. Pull the elbow down to the rib cage. Extend it out. Scoop. There we go. And that scoop goes right into that curl. So scoop, curl, turn, and reach. Good. Now you'll see after I get to my tucked position here, my elbow doesn't really move out. So I'm in my curl to my tuck. It's just a slight diagonal to get there. So for your reverse or for your inward mill, you actually have to have a little bit more of a relaxed wrist, especially when you come to the back. So when I'm here, if I'm death gripping my mace too much, the mace is literally just going to go here, and it's going to hit me in the back of the head. So you have to give it a little bit of freedom to go from a hammer grip position, which is when our curl. You want to keep it there for a little bit, but then when I get to the back here, I'm kind of relaxed in my grip a little bit to give that freedom in my wrist to help put the mace where it needs to go. If I stay in my death grip the whole time, it's not going to flow at all, and the mace is, I'm going to be forcing every movement. So when you're thinking about using your mace movement for stuff like this, it's called a skin grip. You don't want to white knuckle it where you can't move at all. You want to have tension on it, just enough so that your skin kind of sticks to it and slides around a little bit, and it's not going to come flying out of your hand. All right, Kelly Manzone and Frankenlegs or Zach really talk a lot about skin grip because your skin has a natural ability to grip things. So again, try not to white knuckle the mace. You just want enough of it to where it's going to twist my skin a little bit, and that way my wrist has the freedom to do what it needs to do naturally in that position, all right? So, bust them out. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna demo a few, but I wanna see you guys bust out some reps and stuff so I can give some few pointers just to see how everything feels. Now with a 10-pounder, it might be kind of hard to start in that curl position, so you're more than welcome to start with your swing out here. Start off with your elbow, bring it down. Whatever helps you get into that momentum. Now, if you notice with this one, there's only really one spot where you get really good momentum to help you out, and that's on your scoop into the next one. Other than that, coming through here and around, you can feel a little bit of momentum and a little bit of a groove once you start using your body a little bit more, but it's still kind of muscled through, and you're still relying on your muscle support than the momentum of the mace to bring it around for you. See, that's why I think the other ones are a little bit easier because they have 2 spaces of momentum. This one really only has 1.